and welcome here to Copa América 2019 and welcome here to the semi-final of the tournament, and it's the biggest game on the international stage. Brazil against Argentina. There doesn't get a bigger rivalry in international football than this one. South America will come alive, but which nation here will be coming out on top? Lionel Messi is really going for it for Argentina. Will he make his mark here against Brazil? But with the host nation comes a whole host of star players, so much quality right throughout their team. We are going to be pitting both of those teams up against each other today in the tactical preview with everything you need to know. Sit right there. Let's do this. And before we do get into the two teams side by side, and especially up against each other, what can they do in this massive semi-final clash? One thing that I want to say before we start here is simply this. I don't think this game is going to be very comfortable on either side. A lot of people coming into this game will say, look, Brazil have got a fantastic team. Argentina in recent years haven't been there. They simply haven't been there in tournaments, and Brazil are going to dominate them. They're going to absolutely smash Argentina, and many people here will believe for Brazil it's going to be very, very comfortable. But what I would say there is, look at this tournament so far. Look at the tournament, how it's played out. These South American games, they're always close. And especially this kind of rivalry, this kind of atmosphere inside the stadium, you know there, 11 players on each team, every single one of them, they're going to be going for it. They're going to be giving it absolutely everything in this game because those fans there, they are going to demand that. And what I would also say here is that Brazil are under massive pressure. They're the host nation. They know here they're the clear favourites. They should go out there and beat their arch rivals, Argentina. And for the first time here in this tournament, the pressure is not on Argentina. It's not on Messi. It's not on Argentina. Of course, they'd love to win, but at the same time here, it's widely recognised that Argentina are going to be up against it. For the first time in this tournament, the onus there is on Brazil. Brazil to go out there, dominate the game, have the ball. Argentina are coming into a completely different game to what they've experienced so far at Copa America, and that for me should see a phenomenal game, a phenomenal tactical affair. Two very good teams, Brazil with phenomenal quality right throughout from defence to attack. They are littered there with quality players. Argentina have certain individuals which on any day, any given day, they could, given the opportunity, make the vital difference. And if we do, first and foremost here, start with Brazil, and I want to do that here, and I want to talk about their possible team coming into this game. And as of right now, this is what we should be expecting to see from Brazil on Tuesday night. And this here is a quality team. Obviously, nothing is set in stone. There could still be some changes closer to the time. But as of right now, this is basically the shape and sort of the personnel that we should expect from Brazil. Starting in goal here with Alisson, coming off the back, of course, of a phenomenal season at club level with Liverpool winning the Champions League and really in top form right now. Felipe Luis at left back and Dani Alves here at right back. Two highly experienced players. Yes, certainly well into their 30s right now, but still playing at a very good level. And two players here who know each other so well. Marquinhos partnering Thiago Silva at centre-back. Thiago Silva in the build-up to this one saying that Lionel Messi is the greatest player the game has ever seen. And those two have enjoyed some really good tussles at club level over the years, Messi and Thiago Silva, and it'll be fascinating coming into this one. In midfield, Casemiro is going to return from suspension and will most likely partner Artemelo in midfield, but also Fernandinho could be an option there in the holding midfield role. But I think there we're going to see Casemiro, who's certainly a lot of power, a lot of strength in that midfield area. And then you've got Arthur, who's the complete opposite. I think certainly as a duo, they offer two very different things. They're good there for some balance in midfield. You've got all you need there with Casemiro and Arthur at the base of their midfield. Everton from the left, who've been one of the breakout stars here at Copa America 2019. Coutinho here playing in an advanced midfield role, much more suited for him rather than the role that he gets at Barcelona. And then it's very interesting what Brazil do with Firmino and Gabriel Jesus, because Firmino does play and he does start here as the out-and-out number 9, but also Jesus here does make his way into that sort of position, starting first though on the right-hand side. They do start here with a 4-2-3-1, but that very quickly becomes certainly their Jesus, adding to the attack, making those offensive runs, and he will certainly look to link up there with Roberto Firmino. But as we're going to come on to in just a minute's time, that sort of combination, it certainly hasn't really reached its its full potential during the tournament so far, and certainly during those two's time at international level together. And second guessing Argentina's team is slightly more complex simply because there are a few players in here that may or may not play against Brazil there on Tuesday, even if we're starting here with Armani in goal, who certainly improved in his performance in the last round there against Venezuela. Tagliafico at left back, Otamendi and Petzela there at centre back, and right back there is a real area of debate, and particularly an area that we are going to highlight in just a minute when we look at the two teams up against each other. It could be Foyt, who I think had a good game against Venezuela, looked a lot more solid there on the right hand side for Argentina, but at the same time it could be somebody like Sarabia who could come into that role, but he certainly hasn't impressed during Copa America so far. Certainly Paredes will keep his place there at the base of midfield, but who's going to be around him? Is it going to be Acuna on this left hand side, somebody who can play also wide but also come now, a lot of athleticism there in that kind of role, and he did have some good games so far at Copa America so far. He can be underrated really in his role there in midfield. There's also Rodrigo de Paul, who should certainly play, in my opinion, one of the good players so far for Argentina at Copa America, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see Lo Celso find his way into this team. But the question is, where? Do you sub him for one of these midfielders there, or do you take away one of those ever important forwards for Argentina? Do you sacrifice Lautaro Martinez? Do you sacrifice Sergio Aguero and then just play Messi in behind one of them? I think though, Argentina in this kind of game, when the stakes are so high, keep both of them. Keep those two vocal points. Yes, you do sacrifice there a man in midfield, but at the same time, you need a threat. You need to give Brazil something to think about, and I think Lautaro there, in the form that he's in, the pace of Aguero, certainly against these top class players, you need quality forwards. Aguero has that in his locker, and of course then creating that space in behind for Lionel Messi. I think two forwards there. Argentina have looked much better with the two up there with Messi in behind, so certainly here against Brazil, they should stick with that. And then of course, it is the vital question of when those two teams, if they're how we expect them to be, when they come up against each other, how is it going to look during the game? And the first real problem that I see for Argentina in this game is all about that right hand side. Yes, we said that Foyt certainly improved them against Venezuela, but he did have his work cut out there against a really tricky winger in Machis on the night, and he was consistently tested there on that right hand side. He was getting past him, he was getting into those areas, and I do worry about Everton. He has been so good for Brazil, and not only can he go on the outside, not only can he cause problems there with his pace and certainly force Foyt back and maybe drag across Petzela there to actually cover, but he can also come inside. He can also come inside the man there and really cause a problem from long range. He's very good in his shooting. He can certainly score a goal, but he can also create for Roberto Firmino and also Jesus when he gets into attacking positions. And I think Everton there against Foyt, he is going to need their Foyt, the game of his life, to contain Everton. You've got Philippe Luis as well, who will get forward, who will be given the chance. And what you also need there is a bit of support. If Rodrigo de Paul plays there, yes, he's good going forward. Yes, he can have an impact there in the final third, but he also needs to work hard. You need him there, tracking back, supporting Foyt as often as he possibly can. Do not leave there the right back isolated, because Everton has the form, he has the quality to certainly make the difference for Brazil. And for me, when you're looking at the two teams, the other area where I'm really worried about Argentina, and that I do worry about them in most games really, is in that midfield. And that's simply because you've got Arthur here, you've got Casemiro, you've got Coutinho as well in his central area. He's going to be looking for the ball, and you've got to try and close him down. I think Paredes has been really good, and he's going to need to stick very tight here to Coutinho, but you also need to Paul and Acuna, whoever plays there. If the two of them play, you need them really to be very good in that midfield area, and don't give the ball away. They got some very good players in that area, and it's not just about the midfielders. You've got somebody here in Dani Alves who's going to get down this right hand side. Jesus is going to go forward. You've got Dani Alves there who will advance, and he will always become there an interior. He will also play in midfield. He can help Brazil dominate, and when they do that, when they really get their fullbacks forward, when they're dominating the ball, Argentina could really be sucked in there to all of that pressure. They can get really deep. You're going to have Messi coming in and really dropping deep as well, and suddenly they're going to really pen Argentina in. And with that defence, what you don't want to do for Argentina is invite so much pressure there on that defence, because even at the best of times, they can be shaky in these areas. So what you need to do for me is really play these two strikers. They are so important for Argentina, because Brazil may have the ball, they may dominate, they may play it here in these midfield areas, but you will turn over that ball, and when you do that, one long ball could get you out of trouble. You've got Lautaro here who can pick up those scraps. You've got Aguero here who will make those runs, who will be that energy. But at the same time, if you only play one of them, if you only have that one man up here, he will get crowded out by Thiago Silva and by Marquinhos. Argentina need a genuine threat. They need to be able to force Brazil back and not really allow them to get fully on top of this game, because if you do that as well, you're really engaged there. The home crowd, they'll be behind Brazil, they'll get that confidence going. What you need to do here is limit limit Brazil's confidence. When they don't play with confidence, when they don't play with flair, then you see a team who can be got at. And I believe here, in these certain ways, Brazil are still lacking in some areas. Because, for me, the one massive thing here in Argentina's favour is attack versus attack. And you look at it like this: Sergio Aguero, Lautaro Martinez in the form that he's in, and Lionel Messi. Somebody yet who has even admitted he isn't having the best Copa America that he's ever had, but certainly he still has a lot to give, and on this kind of occasion, he could really step up. Then you've got Firmino, you've got Jesus, you've got Coutinho, and you've got Everton. If you ask me there which attack I would rather have in my team, right now, I would still go the way of Argentina. I would still choose there those three players over what Brazil have, because I still think in this team that Tite is yet to unlock the real genius of Firmino and also Jesus. Because yes, from the right-hand side, Jesus does get in these areas, but I still think the combinations don't really seem to be working out, because they've relied on Everton for some individual magic. You have Coutinho there with a few penalties, but they haven't really had any Brazil-esque fantastic passing moves, really good flair in their team. I still don't feel that with Brazil right now. I still don't feel like they're a really good, strong, free-flowing attacking team. I don't see that with Firmino, and I don't see that with Jesus in the way they're operated right now. From the right-hand side here, making those runs, you've got Alves then, who's going to commit himself, and suddenly then, again, if Brazil lose the ball, there will be space down this left-hand side for Argentina to really exploit with some pace, and Tagliafico, who's a very, very good player too. And still, I remain Aguero, Messi, Lautaro Martinez, they do have quality. Brazil, in the attacking areas, still haven't quite got it figured out. Argentina have got Lautaro, who's really firing, really on form right now, Aguero, who has world-class quality if he can provide it, and of course, you know what Messi can do. If he steps up, this could still be, I believe, a game which on their day, Argentina could have a chance. But this here, guys, would be my final word on the matchups here between these two great nations. I think here, essentially, it could become a battle of the number 10s. Lionel Messi, who, like I say, is yet to fully arrive at Copa America, but when he does provide the quality that he undoubtedly has, he could tip this game in Argentina's favour. In this kind of area here, two players there who Arthur, of course, will know him well, Casemiro too, but we both know that Arthur is not going to be a tremendously defensive player, and also Casemiro hasn't really stopped Messi when he's playing for Real Madrid. It doesn't really happen. But at the same time, you look at Coutinho. Yes, he's number 11 here for Brazil, but he plays in that number 10 role. And I think it's going to be really interesting here. Are we going to see the very best of Coutinho? Another player there that isn't very high on confidence right now. He's not really coming off the back of a good season at Barcelona. Certainly there, two Barcelona men. Messi at Copa America still has more to give. Coutinho, in the last year or so, has not been at his best. Which of those two players, for their respective nations, will open up the opposition? Argentina here, if Messi can open up the runs for Lautaro Martinez, if he can open up the defence there and play in Sergio Aguero, it could be incredible for Argentina. But likewise with Coutinho, if Coutinho gets it right, you've got Everton, who's a very, very talented player. You've got Jesus, who's going to make those forward runs, and Firmino, of course, who's been brilliant on an individual level for Liverpool. It's going to be fascinating to see here. So much talent, so much quality. But in the end, only one of these teams will reach the Copa America final. And that, of course, guys, is when it's over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Which of these two great nations do you believe will be on the winning side on Tuesday evening? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it Brazil for you, or could it be an Argentina victory in this game? Let me know down below. I will see you soon with more videos, because this one really matters. But until next time, as always, it's Copa America.